I trained a dragon once. You know what his name was? Spyro, the OG. Yeah, that's right. My PlayStation 1. I'm not that young. I remember. Sometimes I still play. Still play Spyro. Brings back some memories. How to Train Your Dragon 2. I was very excited for this movie, but it wasn't something that I was like, I've got to watch every single trailer that comes out because I just want to be so pumped. I watched the trailer, I'm like, look, it looks good. I kind of can't wait to see that. And then I might have watched it one more time. I'm like, yeah, it still looks good. It's not like when Captain America 2 came out. I was like, trailer every day. That wasn't it. Just like, yeah, sure, this movie looks good. Then, movie actually started to be around that time it started to come out. I'm like, I'm actually pumped. I can't wait. Can't wait. Now, before we get into any of the things, let me tell you the cast here. Let me pull it up. 1 second. My phone has terrible internet connection here. Okay. We have Jay Baruchel, Jay Baruchel, as the voice of Hiccup. We have Kate Blanchett as the voice of Valka, or Val, commonly referred as, who was Hiccup's mother that's introduced in this movie. We have Gerard Butler reprising his role as Hiccup's father, Stoic. Craig Ferguson as Gobber. American Ferrera, who was Astrid, and I was kind of like, I was disappointed. She didn't play a very big role in this, and I liked her character in the first one, and she wasn't really in it all that much. That's because they found another female lead to be his mother. And Jonah Hill, his name is Snoutlout, something like that. He's a big fat one. Jonah Hill was in 2 sequels this weekend. Haven't seen 22 Jump Street yet, but he was in 2 sequels this weekend. I mean, 2 movies in the same weekend, but 2 sequels? What? Christopher Mintz-Plasse was Fish Legs. He's the fat one. I thought I mixed Jonah Hill as actually being fat with the fat guy. T.J. Miller as Tough Nut. Kristen Wiig as Rough Nut. Jimon Husson as Drago, the main antagonist of the film. And we have Kit Harington as Eret. So, this movie starts out with Hiccup's narration, just like the other movie started. And you're like, yeah, cool, that's cool. And you got the dragon, you got the main cast minus Hiccup riding their dragons doing like dragon races. But it's not really a race because you have to put the sheep in the thing. And it's basically like racing and basketball, but using sheeps. But it's awesome. So, they're doing that. That's what they've been up to for 5 years. Except for Hiccup. I mean, he was supposed to be at the race, but he wasn't. And then, when the race is over, the game is over, I guess you could say, it goes to a scene with Hiccup and Toothless just flying around. I'm like, this is breathtaking animation. It's only the second scene and I'm saying that. It's just them in sky. Which you don't think would take that much effort, but it really did. Sorry, my cat's making a lot of noise with her bells. She's a demon. A demon cat. Just kidding, Chloe. Anyway, he's out discovering all these new lands. Because before, the Vikings could only go on the ships, but now they have the wings on the birds, on their dragons, so they can go explore the world more. And while he's out exploring, he finds dragon trappers who try to trap his and Astrid's dragon, and then they're like, well, if you're the dragon rider, you have the fire, not the fire, you have the ice spitter dragon. I'm like, he's like, excuse me? What are you talking about? We just come from Burke. We're not trying to do anything to you here, but I see your whole colony's been turned to ice. But it's not us. And they make a quick escape. Anyway, worst comes to worst. His father finds out, and he's putting Burke under like lockdown, but Hiccup escapes. Chloe, be quiet! Hiccup escapes, and of course the gang follows him. Stoic finds him first, and then he still doesn't listen to his father, so he ends up being like taken by this masked figure who turns out to be his mother, and his mother is who he gets all the dragon training from. It's just in their blood or something, I guess. I mean, they just both really like to train dragons, because she's got a whole she's the only human, and she lives with all like thousands of dragons in this like secret, they live inside a secret mountain. Inside a mountain. It's awesome. Anyway, Stoic and Gobber find him, and then Stoic's like, my wife, she's alive. And I'm still terrible at impressions. But then Drago, the bad guy's like, I have an army of dragons and I'm going to rule the world. And I'm like, why? Why? You have no reason to need to, but he just wanted to rule the world. I guess just like the Dark Elves wanted to in the Dark World. Anyways. I think I should get on to my positive, I think I'm going to start with my negatives. First of all, there was this whole subplot with Roughnut being in the middle of like a love square or something, because both Fish Legs and Snoutlout like want to be with her, but then she meets Eric, the dragon trapper, and she's like, ah, you're hot. And then she doesn't like him again, but then she likes him again, and then nothing ends up happening. And still Fish Legs and Snoutlout are still fighting over, and there's no resolution to that story. I don't know why it had to be there. And another thing I didn't like was Drago, the Dragon Army Master, because he had no reason to do what he was doing. He killed for fun. I don't like that, because I'm a pacifist. But yeah, I mean, he's a weak villain up until the last couple, like the third act of the movie. He was barely there in the first two acts, and then the third act he was like it. And turns out the lead dragon can like control the other dragon, so Toothless ends up, spoiler alert, I forgot to tell you, this is gonna be spoilery, so the Master Dragon gets in like Toothless's head, and he's about to like spit that purple fire that comes out of him at Toothless, not at Toothless, but he's about to spit it out at Hiccup, but then his father like pushes him out of the way, and his father gets hit, and he dies. He dies. It was such a sad moment. I didn't want him to die. Stoic was so cool with his accent and everything. Oh well. I saw this and Fault in Our Stars in the same day. I didn't cry at either of them, but I felt like I wanted to cry more at How to Train Your Dragon 2. And that's a good thing. I should have said I moved on to my positives. But that's a good thing. I was emotionally attached to these characters, and that you can't just keep making, if you want a movie to be good, you have to have an emotional scene. It's not like a breakup, because it was like, oh, the emotional part of the movie's probably gonna be Hiccup and his mother, or Hiccup and his girlfriend, or something. Something's gonna happen. The father dies! Stoic! Don't go! Hey, sorry about that. This is a after my review post-review because I forgot to mention something, and I thought it was rather important that I did. How to Train Your Dragon 2 had a little bit of a continuity error because I didn't watch the television show at all, but when they released the first one on DVD, they released a short film, Legend of the Bone Napper. It was something like that. And by the end of that short film, Gobber's pet dragon was the Bone Napper, and he's nowhere to be seen in this movie. I thought the Bone Napper was such a cool looking dragon. Not only did he look cool, he also sounded cool. He sounded like he was literally made of bones. So when he moved, it sounded like a whole bunch of bones. I don't know, that's all I wanted to say. I forgot to mention it in the actual review, so here it is. And then, once again, the animation is beautiful. There's no other way to explain it except it looks real. Like the landscape, they look like they could be real landscapes. I can't wrap my head around it. It's awesome! And then, you know, Gobber, the one without a arm or leg, and he's got a rock in his teeth, he's still the funniest part of this movie. He still walks around with Stoic making one-liners, and there was this emotional scene between Stoic and Valka, Hiccup's parents, where they're like, he starts singing and she starts singing, and then Gobber like busts in and he's like, ah, da, 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 and is making these terrible sounds that he calls singing. And it's hysterical. Oh, Gobber. Anyway, I think I'll get on to my final impression of the movie. I mean, I liked this more than I liked Lego Movie. I liked this more than I liked Monsters University. I liked this more than I liked Cars 2, but that's not hard. I just thought I'd throw that in there to make you think I was a terrible kid or something. Liked this more than Frozen. And I liked this more than the first How to Train Your Dragon. I mean, there was a couple things in the movie a couple stupid jokes, but that was really it. And the villain, but who turned out to be a really good villain towards the end. He just needed to be more there in the beginning. He was just kind of talked about at the beginning. He never really was there doing anything. But my grade for this movie is going to be an 8.5, between 8.5 and 8.9, somewhere in between there. I liked it so much I can't even pick. So I guess you could say 8.8, 8.75, something like that. I don't know. Thanks for watching, FilmGeekz. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, follow us on Twitter @TheFilmGeekz. That's with a Z. Alright? Hopefully we'll have more videos up for you soon. I know we're going to be seeing 22 Jump Street and the Jersey Boys in about a week. So those videos should be up. We might still get a Maleficent up, but I don't think so at this point. My partner's been really busy. I still haven't seen it. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time.